Formerly suicidal redditors, what's something that kept you alive a little while longer and helped you to get through the dark times in your lives? Honestly, I don't know. I've tried to take my life only once, obviously I wasn't successful. Maybe my mum? I love her so fucking much and she tried her hardest to understand me and my mental health. I spent a lot of time in my teen years trying to hate my mom, but I can't. She's my rock and she grounds me so well because she's so rational and has a very don't worry about it if you can't change it attitude. My mother is a good balance to my ADHD, depression and anxiety. She's helped me gain my confidence as I got older. I can't even say maybe now that I think more about it. She was the one who told me that my depression and anxiety isn't my fault. It's my mom. She can be judgmental, but she is willing to understand. Due to that, I can tell her anything. I love my mom. I fear the day she passes because I don't know if I couldn't deal with it. I'm not going to think about it a lot here, but I do love my mom and she helped me so much over 4 years until this very day. I realized that even if I killed myself, my mom wouldn't admit her fuck-ups and instead pin the entirety of the blame on me as she always did, and I wouldn't even be there to say anything against it. Everyone would believe her, because she's great at manipulating people. And that would mean that she won. Did not want to be an even bigger economical burden to my family. You okay? Bands like Panic at the Disco, 21 Pilots and Pierce the Veil. Consulty, music in general kept me going and my profound love for music encouraged me to learn a new instrument. Later on I found a really good group of friends and now I'm better than ever. Less than 3 keep staying strong, heart. At first my PC, to be completely honest, then my now wife. Making music helped so much. I want to make better music. The thought of my mother finding my body. I had planned everything, met people on forums, set a date, the whole 9 yards. But, I simply couldn't shake the idea of my mother finding out. She would have been devastated that it might actually have killed her too. She would have never recovered from the grief. Also, my haters. I hated the idea of people finding out and saying, "Oh, what a shame," then continuing their lives as though I never existed. I'll make a mark before it kills me. Feeling the pain of losing my best friend to suicide, and realizing that's how I'd be making my friends/family feel. I put off suicide until Doom Eternal came out. Now I gotta wait for all the DLCs. Hopefully by then I'll be better. 21 Pilots, those beautiful nights playing video games with friends and my little brothers, D. Even though things are not perfect and I still struggle with a lot of things, I can proudly say that I am happy to be alive. My kids. Guilt. Just so much guilt. You don't know how much consequences it can cause, although you could just go and not witness it. Your emotions fucks you and give guilt. It's stupid, I don't have the balls to do it, there's nothing to prove to anyone that I can do it, and you don't know if death really is better than life. Plus people. The little things in life. It may sound not as serious, but I wanted to see another sunset or smell the specific smell of fall one more time. I wanted to feel snow on my cheeks or the warm wind of summer. I just couldn't let that go. I like to just stop and appreciate things like that from time to time. It calms me down and makes me think that life is more than just my problems, it can be beautiful too. Those little things also made me realize how insignificant my problems are to the world. The world doesn't care, so if I kill myself, all those beautiful things and feelings will happen anyway, and I would like to be there to experience them again and again. Luck. Only luck. There's always something worth seeing tomorrow for, even something small. Maybe it's a show I want to watch, or a game that came out, or a story I want to write, or a chance to spend time with a friend. As often as I have these thoughts, there's always been something or someone stopping me from committing to anything or making plans. Pierce the Veil. Whenever I have had or have the thought, I think of the look on my mum's face upon finding out. It's so heartbreaking for me to think of, The thought that my actions would cause such unimaginable pain helps me break out of those spirals. Optimistic nihilism or existentialism. I stopped taking life so seriously and stopped worrying about the pressures of society. It's all meaningless in the end, so might as well just create my own purpose. It's my life and not anyone else's. Haven't been suicidal since I changed my outlook on life. My niece also has depression, and I can't imagine the fear she'd feel if I died by suicide. We have a lot of suicides in our family history, but no one she's known personally. My greatest fear is making her wonder, if Speckled Dog couldn't make it, how could I? So when I'm in the darkest spaces, I imagine her fear. Also, I'm alive or on meds. If it weren't for SNRIs, I'd definitely be dead by now. Sleep. I know this sounds trivial, but during really hard times I would just go to bed and sleep. When I woke up I wasn't okay, but I was better than when I went to sleep. I did this cycle of barely surviving for months. But surviving. I've had many dark days and spiral around the dark bit of suicide almost daily. I know this sounds silly, but I find an excuse. I can't kill myself today because it's my mum's birthday tomorrow. I can't kill myself today because my dog won't be fed his dinner, etc., etc., etc. I feel letting people down and failing at suicide yet again. The look in people's eyes when they know I've tried to kill myself again breaks my heart. So today's excuse is, I can't kill myself today because I have a delivery and I have to be at home to accept it. I was writing my note sitting behind my boyfriend while he played on his PC. I feel sick thinking that I had the cheek to do that, and all of a sudden he turned around and said "I love you, hun," with the sweetest grin, and it broke me. I burst into tears. How could I do this to such a sweet soul? It would be so cruel. I told him how I was feeling and he held me close and helped me get out of that dark place. I'm forever indebted to him. I shot my dumbass 12 to 13 self with thankfully an unloaded gun. It made a odd click and freaked my dog out. At this point the dog was almost as old as I was, but she came running and didn't leave for a long time. It's always too late to fix things after you're gone, and starting out fresh in a different place, with different surroundings can make a huge difference. Never give up. If your family and friends suck, that's on them. Don't blame yourself for where you were born. The gym. Every day I felt like killing myself and looked forward to the sweet hour of bliss I would have at the gym, just tuning everything out, listening to my favorite songs, and knowing that the actions I made would lead to a better tomorrow in some way. It was really nice being surrounded by people sharing a common goal, even if I never spoke to any of them. This was at my lowest point after my dad was hospitalized for attempted suicide and nothing else seemed to be going right either. I couldn't get out of bed, eat food, or sometimes even move. I had no urges to watch movies, play games, or talk to friends. It emotionally hurt me to do anything, and I don't know if I'll ever feel pain like that again. Every day consisted of me sleeping, running to the gym around 9 at night, getting home, drinking my daily calories in protein shakes and going to sleep to repeat the next day. That little bit of structure built me back up to a functioning state, and for that, I always loved just being in a gym. It's comforting and feels like a second home. My ex-boyfriend and I want to both stay in touch during my enlistment and get back together when I finish it. He's one of the only people that truly cared about me and have continued to care through thick and thin. My biggest regret is never getting help with my thoughts, rather eating food and crying for years. Now that I am thin again and about to ship out, I just got hit with a wave of so much guilt. It's like I could have done so much better for myself, but then I think about him and what I could do to help him with his projects and tutor him in calc. It hurts so fucking bad that I am leaving, but I can't let myself give up on life. I'm doing it for him. Otherwise, a bunch of teenagers will probably make fun of a video of me in the next decade about something along those lines. Peace y'all. I'm getting my anchor. In my darkest time I remember there was a TV show in a few days I was curious about, so I decided not to kill myself until after I got to watch it. Bunch of stuff like that. Just bought a few days of suffering at a time for years. I have people in my life whose lives would never be the same without me. I'm lucky. My little sister is the #1 reason I stayed alive during my darkest times. I honestly had an attempt, and the only thing that made me squeal my brakes and not crash was the thought that she would have no one. Our brother is aloof at best, our mom is bonkers, and our dad is a homeless hermit. Her and I are the closest of siblings, and we really would not be okay without each other. Even now she's 500-ish miles away at college, and we talk daily, and I try to FaceTime her at least once a week. Even if something terrible were to happen to her, and I didn't have her anymore, she'd still motivate me to live my best life in her memory. She knows she saved my life, and we had a long talk and cry and a really big hug when I got the guts to tell her. After my only attempt, I went out and got help. Get help. Take the meds. You're not less of a person. You're better for it. Mostly thinking about how much my family and my few friends would hurt.